My name's Daniel Krog. I'm an interior designer who specializes in restoring mid-century modern homes. This house was built in 1975, and I've always really been drawn to late modernism. When we first saw it, we knew it was a very, very special, rare, mostly untouched example of late modernism. We got really excited and we bought it. I did my thing where I go through the house and I take the stuff that was original and rip out the stuff that's not original and base the new stuff on the original stuff. All the art, all the furniture, all the decor, all the fabrics, everything is either licensed original from the mid to early 70s or period original, meaning actually originally from the era. Growing up in Southern California, modernism is like my history. It's my story. My father was an airline pilot. I was raised going to LAX. I used to go on flights with my father. I remember LAX at the time, stylistically, I just understood the language of modernism as a little boy because I was surrounded by it. As I grew up in this area, the people that are responsible for the movement and the language of modernism were geniuses, and that kind of understanding that there's something that's bigger than me and something that is beyond my understanding has helped me become very passionate about preserving it. And I came to Palm Springs not really looking for modernism. I came because I started spending time here and loving it here. It was like coming home to an architecture that was already mine. As I immersed myself in it more and more and really started to learn about what it was for, why it evolved the way it evolved, it's just kind of become a huge part of my life. The way I look at houses, especially if I restore a house, I walk into a house and I listen to the house first. And then I listen to myself, and I do not know better than the house. And I do not know better than the architect that created the house. And it's not my job to come and put my stamp on a house. It's my job to come in and do the work to bring out the house. Because once these houses are gone, they're gone forever, and you cannot recreate them ever. They're horrific examples of buildings being destroyed all the time. And you cannot rebuild them. You can't recreate them, even if you try, because of building codes and available materials and just everything. You can't recreate it. We even kept the windows, the vintage glass and sliders in this house because some of them stick, some of them get dust underneath them. But we knew that if we replaced the glass, it would change the look of this house and it would make it look much more contemporary. And we just didn't want to take that chance. What drew me to this house? We were living in our 1961 restored house in Deepwell, which we love. And we got a call from our realtor and he just said, you have to see this house, it's off market. We saw the photos and we thought, oh, it's pretty, we'll go look at it. We didn't think much of it, but two things the photographs couldn't really communicate. And one of them was the scale of the house. It's a late modern house and the scale is just, it's grand. It's got a sort of a weight to it, which I think is indicative to a lot of late modern homes. The aggregate concrete was also something that is a really unique feature in the house that we couldn't see in the photographs. You can't see the beauty and the detail. And the setting, the way that it's built up on this hill, the views, that was also really exciting for us. So it was kind of one of these happy accidents. And one of the reasons why I'm so proud that this house is designated an historic site. It's the first late modern home to be designated as a Class 1 historic site in Palm Springs. So I kind of feel like this house is sort of a signpost of late modernism in Palm Springs. There are lots of other beautiful examples, but because this house is designated, it sort of serves as proof that modernism continued well into the 70s. I always take cues from, first and foremost, the architecture and the design language that's already here if it's original. And then I dive into the history of the time. Look at what made this aesthetic happen at that time. And I try to get into the head of that, or the mindset of that specific design language. If I have to bring new things in, I'll make choices based on either what's here in the house already or what was happening at that time that could have been a choice when the house was being built brand new. So a good example is this house is filled with 3x3 tiles because a lot of the bathrooms and kitchens were remodeled in the 90s. So they had that aesthetic and I wanted to restore it and make it look like it had already been here. So there were 2 bathrooms that were clad in 3x3 tiles with a very strong kind of gradient in the color. And I basically found a company that made tiles from the 70s with 70s color palettes in 3x3. So I just replace all the tile in the house with that 3x3. And I found historic examples of 70s buildings that also use the same 3x3 with really earthy glazes and color gradients, and to make it look like it has always been here. And one of the greatest compliments I got from a designer friend of mine who came to the house when we first finished the restoration, he came through and he said, "I can't tell what's new and what's old." And that made me really happy. I love opening the house for tours for Palm Springs Modern Committee because I believe in what they do. I believe in their preservation work. And the people that are part of ModCom, not just the people that run it, but the members and the people that follow, they love restoration and preservation as much as I do. So I love opening the house to them and letting them come see it. ModCom gave the house an award, period, Rehabilitation of the Year in 2019. I'm really proud of that. People in the preservation world in Palm Springs really respect that award, and I'm really proud of it. When you come and see the house, you get to get educated more about what modernism is, and you're also helping the cause of Palm Springs Modern Committee, which they do great work. They're always on top of what buildings need protection, and so it's a win-win for everybody.